How's it going, everybody? I'm Danny D. This is 7 Deadly Bananas, and we're about to watch Dancing with the Devil, Demi Lovato. We're making this transition over to music, you know, kind of trying to give more variety to the YouTube channel. And this one in particular, the reason I'm watching it now, it's kind of hitting all the bells and whistles that we're looking for. The connectivity to the music scene, the sober guy reaction with, you know, the addiction, and I think I saw something about eating disorder. So I'm gonna watch all 4 of these, and yeah, let's do this, okay? Let's learn more about Demi. I think I've heard this song. Maybe? Yes, yes I have, okay. This is a good song.
I've had so much to say over the past 2 years of like, wanting to set the record straight about what it was that happened.
Oh shit.
You know, I wasn't showing them what I was doing behind closed doors.
Yeah, I was getting it, yeah.
This is the first time where we're really telling the truth, you know, for her.
That must have been exhausting if you trying to only show just literally the top layer of what's going on with cameras and oh my God.
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
For Americana, Demi Lovato.
Superstar Demi Lovato.
TMZ reports that the singer was rushed to the hospital.
Law enforcement is stating that she...
Paramedics reportedly found her unconscious.
Suffering what appeared to be a heroin overdose.
Jesus, heroin, fuck, wow. That's not what I expected, not what I expected. Usually it's a little more glamorous.
It is being reported that the oxycodone was also laced with fentanyl.
The more the details come out about
Jesus.
The more it becomes really obvious that she's really lucky to be alive.
Fuck yeah, fuck, what the fuck? What?
I crossed a line that I had never crossed.
Fuck, oxycodone, fentanyl, heroin, oh my God.
We had an estranged relationship.
Oh, wow, that's so 80s.
Was an addict and an alcoholic and was abusive to my mom.
Super relatable already.
All we know is that by the time he was found, his body was too decomposed to have an open casket.
Oh, shit.
I was drinking vodka out of a Sprite bottle at 9 in the morning, throwing up in the car.
Ah, shit.
He was kind of too far gone at that point. He needed to realize that he needed help himself.
Sobriety has to be your choice and no one else's.
Preach.
My self-esteem was just completely damaged from those beauty pageants.
Jesus Christ.
If I don't win this pageant, I will never eat again. Then you put me in front of a camera and on stage, and it's just like...
Was she on Barney? No fucking way. What? I didn't know any of this.
Everything that I do, there's...
I didn't know she was a child star. Wow.
The impact that eating disorders have had on her.
I can't imagine what that does. I really can't.
The control and the restriction was way too toxic for her, and she was miserable.
A dietitian, nutritionist,
Rice
therapist.
cakes.
I've had all these people.
There's some good rice cakes out there, though.
I felt like I was always walking on eggshells, no matter what. What I was eating, around who, what we had in our dressing room, what kind of food.
It was very intense. Everyone around her had to be drug tested.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, you're completely shutting out life in general.
Put on like a little weight. So like I don't want to go on stage every night in clothes that are like showy.
She looks beautiful.
Everything looks good on a sketch because it's a 10-foot, 90-pound model.
I can only imagine.
And I also had people around me that were really policing my food intake and the things that I was eating. So I was miserable and I like snapped.
Anybody would, I think.
You have to be sober. You have to be this icon, this role model that my sister never claimed to want to be in the first place.
I agree with that so much, Jesus.
I think that to be the poster child of perfection and mental health and all these kind of things is such a dangerous, slippery slope.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
6 years sober.
I kind of feel bad for clapping. 1 month after the show, yeah.
I picked up a bottle of red wine that night, and it wasn't even 30 minutes before I called someone that I knew had drugs on them.
Just like that. Coincidence, convenience, whatever.
That night I did drugs that I'd never done before. I'd never done meth before. I tried meth. I mixed it with Molly, with
Jesus.
weed, alcohol, Oxycontin.
Fuck.
And like that alone should have killed me.
Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was only like 2 weeks before I was introduced to heroin and crack cocaine. Recreationally, and obviously like you.
Smoking heroin, holy shit. Smoking heroin is pretty fast. It's like one of the fastest ways to deliver the drug.
She disappears from game night. Everyone's kind of looking to me like, Syra, where is she? So I go upstairs and I find her in the bathroom, and she's got, you know, tinfoil, and she's smoking.
I think it's called freebasing. I smoked meth the same way.
That I realized I had become physically dependent on it. And it was on that trip that I actually wrote Sober.
That's interesting. That's interesting. At one of my drunken peaks is when I wrote one of my heaviest poems.
Excuses for all of these goodbyes. It wasn't my intention. I'm sorry to myself.
I need to hear the rest of that song.
Shots, go, 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 go! Everybody's got their line. Come on, I see it.
You see her like shaking her head? Damn, Jesus, one day.
Then I'm here again. I forgot the words.
Oh. She just walks off. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
I went out to a friend's party, and none of my friends knew what I was using.
Demi is very good at hiding what she needs to hide.
It's kind of what the booze is for. Like if she comes off at all high or crazy, like woozy or whatever, she can easily blame me booze.
To them, I was just normal again.
This is the whole story of the overdose, I'm assuming.
But the reality was that I had called one of my dealers over.
Also very relatable.
You know what happened to her, okay? I'm gonna be there shortly. Stay with the patient. I'm gonna remain on the line with you all the way until the paramedics arrive, okay? This is just blowing my mind right now. If you like that highlight and you want to see more of me watching this completely unedited, hit that link below, 7 Deadly Bananas on Patreon. Get in there, start watching TV with me.
I opened the door really slowly, and it was really dark and cold in her room. And I kind of got chills, honestly.
Jordan's just called me in a panic. I need you to go into the room now and tell me everything you see. She was propped up, vomit.
Oh shit, and she's hearing this.
And I'm just kind of like, do I call 911? Like, what do I do? So I called, and I just remember sneaking downstairs to make the phone call.
I've witnessed 3. Found 2 of them very similarly to this person's story.
The ambulance came. They came upstairs to her room. They got their Narcan out, trying to really just bring her back to life.
I have been very fortunate not to have gone through an OD situation, but to have walked in on someone ODing like in front of me, and in a couple different varieties, like convulsions, seizures, withdrawal seizures, like, I mean.
The first thing I got was a text from a mutual friend saying, "I'm so sorry." And I was like, huh?
I'm so sorry. I heard about Demi.
And I was like, sorry about what? Like, what is happening? And then Max calls, her security.
Depending on what kind of drugs you're doing and stuff like that, the OD can really take on different forms also once it gets to the hospital, which is why it's so important that they need to know what they've taken, you know.
Everyone turns on their phone. People are gasping in the plane. It was so surreal. And I'm looking at everyone's phone and it says Demi Lovato overdose.
I'm so confused. What are you talking about? I was just with her.
It's amazing how fast that happens.
The brain being starved of essential nutrients. The longer it's injured, the more difficult is the recovery.
That means she was there for a while before the friend, you know, like even before the whole, like her entering the house, she was more than likely already there.
All of her blood come out of her body into a machine and come back. I asked the doctor, I said, what happens if she pulls out that tube in the middle of the night or when we're not watching her? And he actually kind of laughed and he said, that tube's not coming out, it's sewn into her neck.
That shit's scary to see. That is...
I had 3 strokes. I had a heart attack. I suffered brain damage from the strokes. I can't drive anymore.
Strokes, fuck.
I wasn't injecting it, I was smoking it, which is another reason why I was so shocked when I woke up in the hospital. At the end of the day, if you do too much of anything, it's gonna kill you.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, all right,
that's
I need to get help.
It depends on the drug, not on the how you do it.
I had 5 to 10 more minutes, and had my assistant not come in, I wouldn't be here today.
They gave the 2 options, and I said, please try this part first, for obvious reasons. Then he came back to me and said, we just can't. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
He put her on
That's
that
such
machine.
a trip. I didn't even know you could do it anywhere else. I thought they all went into the neck.
The first moment that I saw Demi in the hospital, when she first opened her eyes, she looked at me, I grabbed her hand and I said, I'm here and I love you, just to let her know I had gotten to the hospital.
That's a good friend.
And she looked me dead in the eye and she said, who is that?
No shit. Yeah, that happens too.
Which is something you never want to hear your sister say.
And we all kind of looked at the nurses and the doctors and were like, what? Like, what do you mean? What does she mean? What do you mean she can't see anything?
She just started sobbing because she thought from then on I was not going to be able to see.
The areas of her brain that were initially affected.
That's so crazy. I was much younger. I don't remember this, but I was deaf for over 2 years. It was when I was really young.
You couldn't see your sister in a literal sense.
I know that's not what they literally meant. I know they meant it metaphorically, but it's really ironic and in a weird way poetic that it ended up happening like that and me not actually seeing her.
That's fucking trippy. That's trippy.
God has a twisted sense of humor sometimes.
A lot of the times, I would agree. I would say it's more.
My cocktail before I got sober was Coke and Xanax
There we
together. It was an upper and
Upper
a
downer,
downer,
yeah.
and I loved the combination.
Yin yang.
When people relapse, and this is, you know, pretty much the case always, is that people will not, they won't even return to where they last used. They will return to a much harsher bottom.
The spiritual growth that I've had over the past, I even want to say like 7 months, that spiritual growth is what I was looking for.
I can fucking relate to that too. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy right now.
It wasn't fair, actually, to everyone that was around me during that time, because when I did end up in the hospital, they were kind of thrown for a loop too, of like, whoa, what the f have you been doing? What do you mean?
Yeah, I can relate to that also. It's a lot of people like, what?
When she decided to not be sober anymore, I never had been in an experience with her where it was bizarre or out of control.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just an experience, though. Not only do you not have the experience of knowing what she's capable of, but you probably also don't know how to handle that particular thing where someone sober starts to drink again.
Why do I feel like I should have stayed? And we were halfway away from the house and we pulled over.
It was almost
and I look at my friend Janelle and I said,
yeah.
Do you feel weird? And she's like, I feel weird. Should we have stayed? Should we have stayed? And I'm like, no. She's a grown-up girl. In my head, I'm like, what is she gonna do? She's gonna go to bed. Like, no, she's fine.
Sometimes those little instincts, it's not really that hard to act on them sometimes, you know? Better to be safe than sorry.
I didn't just overdose. I also was taken advantage of. He gave me what I assume now to be fentanyl.
Dude, this is a Euphoria episode right here.
When they found me, I was naked. I was blue. I was literally left for dead after he took advantage of me. Maybe a month after my overdose that I realized, hey, you weren't in any state of mind to make a consensual decision. That kind of trauma doesn't go away overnight.
No.
When she turned 28 this past year, it is pretty morbid, but we kind of were like, you made it to 28. Yes, you survived the 27 club. In a way, it's like probably a subconscious, self-fulfilled prophecy.
That's a Kurt Cobain thing. Well, it's older than that, but Kurt Cobain brought it more to light. I thought it was 28. It was 27. Well, I mean, I feel like there's things about this story that I think need time to really be thought about and to really let sink in the gravity of these situations. I feel like they're telling the story too fast. They're doing a great job. I just don't feel like maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that maybe they've never had this kind of experience before. Maybe they've never tried to tell this story before, but I feel like, I feel that just even putting some space in between the different people talking would be a huge benefit to allowing just a little bit of space in between the people talking in order to let the feel happen, let the feels happen, you know. But holy shit, let's move right along. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, and we'll see you on the next episode.